I gotta say, Oda has been giving us a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot of stuff. He's dropping some pretty heavy stuff on us. I'm not gonna lie. That's like questions on top of questions that we the fans of One Piece should like. Oh, I mean, is he gonna drop the like a little hint on this particular on this particular character? Like what's a good example? Like Frankie's parents, Zoro's parents, lineage, or Luffy's mom, perchance, hint, hint. But let me just say this too. I mean, I seen people like like I saw some people like saying like videos be like, oh, this Luffy's mom. I was like, Luffy's mom. We've been theorizing that Luffy's mom is the well, we don't know who Luffy's mom is. Particularly, we don't know. Oda hasn't dropped any name bombs, but I've been seeing that it's connected to somebody. So, One Piece chapter 1156, titled Idols. And we're dropping into this chapter immediately because there's some things going on in this chapter that everybody should know. So, where we left off with Rox's backstory, not Rox's backstory, but how Rox and Loki's father actually met. So now we continue back into like down the lane of backstory. So here it starts off with this narrator comes on, says this. Back in those days, certain idols roamed the seas. That was some power attack. And then why aren't any of you fighting back? You guys are useless. And it says a caption off to the side. Before the Great Pirate Era began. No, I add began because hey, why not, right? And of course you just see a bunch of Marines and pirates of like just laid out. I mean, just laid out, and you just see the women in the background like in an outrage. It's like, what the hell are you guys? Have you lost your minds? And that's what the women actually said. It said they're taking everything. You men are useless or useless and hopeless. They were strong, and one of the women to the side says, you didn't lift a finger, and now what are we supposed to do? And you have the narrator comes on again too. Even the Marines could not oppose this group. They were known as the Kuja Pirates, a crew hailed from the elusive island of women, also known as the Amazonian women. Now, not trying to say nothing, but I see a video coming on, if you know what I mean. Now, I will say this too. This might sound a little bit a downgrade, but what was this? What was going on? How can you look like here? I'll put a picture right here. How can you look like this back in the day, but you went from that to this, right? And I'm going to get into that. But anyways, it continues. A fierce and stunning pirate band off limits to even men. And you have one of the bystanders, like one of the crew members said this, I grow wary of my own beauty. Day and night, it always goes this way. Will I ever be free to shed it? This picture of perfection. Captain Gloriosa is a goddess, and you just see the caption, boom, right there. Empress of Amazon Lily, captain of the Kuja Pirates, Gloriosa, future Elder Leon. Again, how you going from this to this? Explain that, because something is not right. Matter of fact, how do you even get short? How do you go from tall to this short? That just blows my mind. Evenly, it was like, what's going on here? Because you didn't look like this. Let me tell you, something must have happened. We need some more context clues, please. Anyway, like I said, her crewmates, like how Boa Hancock, if you don't remember her, of how we first met her, is basically how her crew or how the people in Amazon look at her beauty, and everyone just falls in love with her beauty, just stunning, just basically what's a good comparison? Michael Jackson comparison. Like look at her, just like stunned, basically. even a wink from her, for any like Empress would put someone on their knees instantly. Yeah, I am exaggerating, but look what's going on in this chapter. And then I'm improvising improvising that too. So yeah, here we go. Anyways. And then you got another person, one of our crewmates, coming up too. Future, by the way. Empress Gloriosa, here are your new fan letters. And she said, Toritoma, what about all those back there? Oh, those are for Lady Shocky. He was like, oh, what? There are 100 times more, as Gloriosa says. Toritoma, future Empress of Amazon Lily. Now the okay. By the way, if you didn't know who she is, she's basically the one that first got the love sickness and died of love sickness. First person, and the person, the Amazon only Empress that went to, I don't know if she's the one that went to, no. That was Gloriosa that went to that brought in the Boa sisters and the three Boa sisters back to the island. And then I think Toritoma, it's some backstory. It's a long backstory, but I explain it at the end. But anyways, it continues. Narrator comes on. Indeed, the only one said to outshine the radiant Gloriosa, the star of her era, was none other than her first mate Shocky, basically. Anyways, when I say that, even the like this is how you know that when I say empresses or up there, their beauty can't even knock down the most powerful people. So I meant, hello there, it's me, Roger, speaking. Hand her over Kuja Pirates. He's speaking of Shocky, basically. Today's the day we finally win her from you. We're taking your first mate, Shikaku Yuki, or something like that. Yuki. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna abbreviate it anyways. And you just see everybody on Roger's crew just fall in head over heels over her. Shocky has the, well, let me just say, the wrist of Michael himself. I mean, you can't justify that, right? Anyways, now the narrator comes on again and say, in her presence, flowers wilted. Birds lost their songs and people turned against one another. That's just how bad it is. Imagine seeing Shocky, even you are the most powerful person in the world, just drop on your knees and just looking at her crying, just like, that's the most beautiful person I ever seen. But and you propose her and then she just shoots you down. It's like, and you turn to stone instantly. Not by a devil fruit, but just by rejection. That's how bad it is, ladies and gents. Anyway, they end up having a, I guess, I want to say a David back fight, but I guess. Anyways, Gloriosa tells Roger, saying, you never learn, Roger. Is it being loved by a woman like me enough? And now one of them says, who do you come to take again? And Shocky comes out and something else happens and narrator comes out. They say her every move was captivating. And then Roger and rest of the crew just turned to look because the door was getting kicked down and Shocky, let's just say, stunned everybody. Well, I mean, even her own pirate crew stunned everybody. And even Roger himself. Anyways, the fight gets started, and she's mopping the floor with everybody on that crew. Oh my goodness, bro. You have Shocky. I don't know. I guess that's the power of a future empress for you, but god damn, she's mopping the floor with Roger, the top three powerful people on that crew. Roger, Gabon, Rayleigh, Silver, Dark King, Rayleigh. The Dark King? Well, the Rayleigh didn't do nothing. I think he just, you gonna see, because this man just sat. But I think Rayleigh just sat back and just watched, just like, hmm, mm, 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 mm. Pathetic. Pathetic. Why did I join this crew again? And you just see him just, and it's it's funny because Ray was just looking at this saying we're supposed to be the most like badass of strong people around, and we just getting our asses handed to by uh what in the world's going what the world's going on? Anyways, Chalky says, "Oh, Gabon, just hearing you say my name is." And then Roger comes out of nowhere and she said, "Long time no see, Roger." And Roger says, "How dare you do that to Gabon?" And boom, Roger ends up getting laid out by the by Shocky. And the narrator comes on and says this: her beauty humbled even the mightiest of warriors, which is shocking, by the way. Roger said, "Damn it, I like Shocky too much." One of them said, "Same here, Roger." And he just got Shocky hovering above Roger, smoking this, lighting her cigarette. And that's a badass way to like, and that's how bad it is. I mean, her beauty humbled even the mightiest of warriors. That's funny. That is real funny. And you just see Shocky posted up, just slam her hand, the wall slam on Roger even. And she says this: "You should know I'll never submit to others' captivity." And here's the caption, by the way: "The first mate of the Kuja Pirates, I'm going to abbreviate her name, Shocky." There you go. Well, I'll put the full context right there. Anyways, and Shocky just basically after she laid out everybody, basically not laid out everybody, but just the strongest people. Well, 2 out of 3 strongest people. There you go. 2 out of 3 strongest people on the crew. And the rest of the Rogers crew you already know. I mean, they can't go up against this stunning beauty because it's it's overloading their brain. Their brain was like, "Oh man, if I hurt her, she's not longer beautiful no more. But I got to like submit." You know, it's crazy. This chapter is like crazy. Anyways, Shocky just commands the rest of the crew just like take their treasure. I mean, we already beat them, so there you go. And one of her crewmen said, "Just take my soul while you're at it." Now she glances over to Rayleigh, and she said, Rayleigh, it must be so hard for you." Rayleigh's about to that as yeah, I mean, I'm surrounded by idiots. I think, in my opinion, Rayleigh is judging by his actions, not like engaging with Shocky. Just sat there and just watched in a cool manner. I mean, it looked like he's not even captivated by Shocky by Reese. It's just like he's calm but nervous at the same time, right? Anyways, one of them, I can't even say her name, but anyways, Gloriosa says this: "Roger, you know I'm the one. I'm the one who likes you, right?" And Roger just pushes Gloriosa away and just say, "Out of the way, Gloriosa. You blocking Shocky." I guess her beauty just like overrides Gloriosa's a bit, and it's like, I guess. Anyways, Shocky ends up winking at Rayleigh, and Rayleigh's like, Jesus Christ, here we go. But we all know what ended up happening in the future, right? I mean, she is the other empress though to succeed Gloriosa, so yeah. And then you got what's her Toritoma, but here we are. Okay. Whew. Anyways, one of them says, one of her crewmates says, "Empress Gloriosa, it's the Navy. Get moving with the loot. Don't leave a single crumb behind." Oh, damn. Looting the hell out of them. And one of them said, "On it." Hey, and one of them says, "Hey, at least let us keep some of the food." And anyways, one of the Marines says, "We spotted the Roger Pirates and the Kuja pirate crews. Quick, snap a picture. It will be worth a fortune. Knock it off." Anyways, Roger commands everybody hit on his ship and said, "Hurry up, we gotta set sail." And then he said to one of the Marines, said, "Roger, isn't that Garp ship?" What did you just say? All right, man, new plan. And then you got Roger and Garp saying, crush them. Pirate Goldie Roger, future king of the pirates and father of Ace. And then you got the Marine hero, Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp, future hero of the Marines and grandfather of Luffy. And by the way, they're at their super prime, so. And when I mean super prime, I mean legit prime. And you just got both of them hitting each other with their their signature moves and stuff. And Garp says Meteor Fist, and Roger's technique is called the Araminatama. And one of the parts is it just had to be Garp's ship, didn't it? And you just got these two going at each other. Roger, Garp. Now, and you just see them going balls deep into fighting. I mean, look at this panel. I mean, that panel is crazy. And by the way, the amount of you just see too, Garp's hand is covered in hockey, like super duper hockey, like and in future basically. And then you got Roger's sword coated in hockey too, which is kind of crazy. And the narrator comes on and says this: Roger and Garp and Rocks, three who would be spoken as legends in the great pirate era, but at this time their blood burned with the passion of youth. Many saw anyway, that's how actually basically how it is. Anyways, this is a little note to a reference to a violent kind of spirit in Shinto, basically Uramatama. So once I edit this out, I'll put like a caption or like a note in it too. So yeah, feel free to pause the video too. Anyways, cutting back to Kuja part. Now she's one of them says, "What the Empress Gloriosa?" Now narrator comes on too. The Kuja were at the height of their popularity at this time. No one could speak of this era without mentioning them. Many saw them as idols, and their wanted posters fetched high prices. Stalkers taking creep shots became a daily nuisance for the crew. Soon after this encounter, and you just see everybody, the Empress Gloriosa fainted, and you just have, she's fainted basically, and then Gloriosa, Shocky came and trying to like get her attention and snap her out of it or wake her up. But we got ourselves a situation here, ladies and gents, because love is a hurricane. And Gloriosa got struck with the love sickness. So she says this: my heart aches. Those two are so dream, basically. Anyways, that's what happened. And then at this moment, narrator comes on. Shaki was crowned empress, and the popularity continued to grow to an unmanageable level. So at this time, Shaki has now became empress. However, another clue of what happened to Gloriosa: she got hit with the love sickness. So, how did you treat this? Well, she had to leave. I'm guessing she had to leave the island, like Shocky did. So that's probably might be happening. Maybe we're gonna get that next chapter of what happened to Gloriosa. But that's probably what happened, because Shocky ended up having. I'm betting Shocky had to like leave the island because she got shut. Like I'm betting she like realized her heart, something was wrong with her heart, and kind of thought, oh wait, I'm getting love sickness right now. Okay, Rayleigh. So I'm betting she left the island to see Rayleigh, and those two started living with each other, and that's how it happened. Anyways, it continues. Now from transitioning from the Kuja Pirates to back to Elbath, Ida's Tavern in Elbath. So here we go. And now you got something's going on. Anyways, I saw Loki drowning after the ship capsized. He's always acting up so badly when you're not around. And one of the says, honestly, wonder whether I should help him or not. And then you got Harujin's fuck, I forgot his name. Anyways, sorry and thank you for saving him. Loki, pull yourself together, basically. Anyways, one of the giants or Ida is screaming at the captain, which verbal action, the same thing she gave to Loki's father, which is kind of funny. Anyways, what the hell? You shouldn't have even hesitated to help. How would you feel if Loki had died? And then Loki's father said, "Come on, Ida. Loki's the only one who selfishly took the ship and sailed off." And then you got Ida firing back, says, "So what? If you can just stand by and let a kid die, I drag him under and drown him myself and humble, what was it, 100 times over, basically." So yeah, that's what actually happened, basically. Now we continue. Even further, Ida says, "You lost your mom and your dad's always quite busy. I bet you must get pretty lonely, right, Loki?" Anyway, she don't know what actually happened to I don't want to speak her name because she deserved it, by the way. Her, Loki's mom, deserved it. All deserved. And then Loki ends up telling Ida, "Shut up, old hag." Now, Loki and Haruja ends up getting into it again, into fighting. You just got Ida in the background, just like, you know how moms are, basically. Anyways, it continues. "I hate how he says such mean things to you, stupid Loki." And then you got Ida comforting the Moto. "Moto, are you crying for me? The world is full of kind and beautiful people." And Loki says this, "I'm sick of this country, basically. Every single one of you is weak and dirty. I'm going to be free like rocks." And Loki's father hears this and is like, damn it. Anyways, narrator comes on and says this. "From then on, each time Rock's visit to try and recruit Harold, Loki would attempt to join Rock's crew, but he would ultimately never get his way." So if you remember the first time Rox came, or one of Loki's brief backstories, Loki kind of like, at this time, Loki challenged Rox, or try to fight Rox, and then Rox laid him out, injured and stuff, and Whitebeard, or Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard, future Whitebeard, said to Rox, said, "Hey, that's kind of overdoing it a bit. I mean, for you to raise your blade to a kid, then don't you have any tact?" Rox ends up telling Whitebeard, or Edward Newgate, saying, "Well, shut up, Edward Newgate, because I mean, he raised his blade against me first, so it's kind of justified at this point." And it continues on. "Several months after Ross Crew's takeover of Pilot Island." So at this time, Rox took over Pirate Island, which is, again, kind of funny. Now, one of the pirates on Pirate Island says, "The Rox pirates are the pirates, the ocean's all stars of evil. See that fish-shaped boulder over there? That's where they said to be holed up, basically." And one of them, and continue, one of the pirates says, "If you're dead set on medium, head that way. But the deeper into the island you go, the madder the bastards get," basically. And one of them, and then it says, "Good luck with that death wish." And that random pirate kind of kicks another pirate with a hoodie, with a axe, by the way. And he says, "Take that, that'll teach you." And then ballsy move right there, because he ended up getting snatched up. This dude snatches up in his hand, like that head is inside his hand. And then someone yells his name, KO the hitman. And one of them said, what's Shiki's rival doing here?" And then you get the full title, KO the Wicked, Future Silver Axe. And then it has the narrator come on too, said, "The strong gathered around Rocks, and their presence attracted even the stronger recruits." So shocker right there, because I didn't know that shit. And then you got like a massive burst of explosion come out of nowhere, that's at the top of the skull of the two eyes, and you just see Rocks just punch out two holes. Don't know how he did that. Anyways, he says this, "Blasting a couple holes in the place was the right call after all. Ain't that right? As I was saying, there's two devil fruits I'm after. One of them most likely on Elbath. It will only show its true power if Harold eats it. Two devil fruits. One is on one of them is if King Horo, Loki's father, eats it, and I wonder what's the second devil. Is it the what was right Blackbeard's devil fruit? I can't remember. I think it was the dark dart fruit. I think. Or the shadow. No, it wasn't shadow fruit. Anyways, it continues with, and we get also names in this one too. We'll need those Galarov folks too. Yeah. I've heard the legends, but and I have a caption. Pirate Captain John, and another one says, I'm using all my contacts to try and track them down, but there's nothing about a frozen army of giants. Pirate Charlotte Lin, future Big Mom. I got to say too, let me emphasize this. Big Mom looks back then kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna emphasize that. Holy shit. She is. And we already got introduced to Whitebeard too. Future Whitebeard, Edward Newgate. Even if you find them, what good are a bunch of corpses now? And you get another crewmate too that we haven't even seen. Exactly. There's no way to bring them back. And you get the title, Pirate Streisand, Lin's partner in crime. And one of them says, shut it, we're talking about dreams, don't be a drowner or a downer. It continues, we're about to get some more. Even if they did come back to life, they'd have no reason to listen to you. Character info, Pirate Barbell, Catfish Fishman, and here comes another one that we all familiar with. Can't we just use our strength to force them to obey? We can do the same thing to Haro guy too. Caption. Here's a character. Pirate Kaido, future king of the beasts. Beast King Kaido. Anyways, one of them kicks, or Rocks kicks Kaido. And he says, never say that again, you brat. Come. And one of them said, calm down, Rocks. And then one of them said, why you, Kaido, you stop too. We just got this island. Do you two want to turn it into a ruin already? A group like this is bound to implode sooner or later, but this isn't the time. And Captain John says, right, let's hold off on that till we cash in a little more. Get it, you horn-headed rookie. And then Rock says, Pearl's my good pal. I'll crush you if you say that crap again, Kaido. And Kaido's looking very hella nervous when he says that. And he's sweating bullets. He says, ah, shit. Anyway, Rock says this. You listen up, you lot. Elbath is the key to bringing down the Holy Land. If any of you don't buy that, then get lost. It's your choice if you want to stand with me on the day of destiny. But if you got the guts, follow me. I'll take you to the World Summit. And you just have, boom, the Rock's pirates being formed. I mean, just a bunch of misfits. This is what if there was a definition of misfits, you see this. Just this. The crew has formed. Chapter 1156 and final thought on this chapter. So, like I said before, let's go all the way back. So, Shocky, or before Shocky, but Empress Gloriosa has gotten hit with the love sickness. We all know what happens when you get hit with the love sickness. Look back to before Boa Hancock, it was Empress Toritoma, if I remember correctly, if that was her name. She got hit with the love sickness and died. But we don't know who she fell in love with. Evidence point to Monkey D. Dragon, the revolutionary army. Or actually, we don't even get Dragon in this. So we don't know what's his status in this timeline during Roger and Garp's reign, basically. Because this was a rambunctious era right here. We're in the rambunctious era timeline right now. So we don't know what's going on in this or what's the status of I'm trying to remember of Dragon's status in this particular timeline. He could have been like Marine at the time, and then all of a sudden he like got conflicted with values of the Marines, and then got sick of the Marines and just like said, screw it, I'm going to become if I'm gonna fix this government, I might as well revolution in it or go do revolution stuff or do something or wherever his status is. But his status at this time has to be like Marine or he quit the Marine, right? Or abandoned the government basically. You just say, fuck it, I ain't gonna stay here, right? Another thing I want to say is too, is that at this point, I mean, if this is if Toritoma or Triatoma or Triatoma or whatever her name is, yeah, the future Empress Amazon Empress or future Empress of Amazon Lily, if she got like hit with love sickness and fell in love with a Monkey D dragon, I mean, we could get like a backstory on that next chapter. I'm hoping Oda expands on that, but if he doesn't, then that says a lot. I mean, come on. I mean, there's people. I seen videos like this. I saw a video on this chapter and it was like, I mean, we don't know particularly. I mean, we know that Dragon I think he used to be Marine. No, I shouldn't say that. Because I know he was a Marine. Because even his grandfather, his father was a Marine. But we don't know, like, his, like, status at that time. You know what I mean? Because he was a Marine, but something did happen. So we don't know the status. So it's kind of like, you know, up in the air. But we don't know how she met Dragon, you know? Because, I don't know. It's just, like, mind-boggling to think that, like, you gotta really think too, because you got Dragon like off of nowhere, but where and the Empress, how did these two even meet? Even that's the one thing I'm confused about. So unless there's like a SBS or like another chapter that expands upon this, that would be good, please. Because I need to know that. Aside from that, I mean, Shocky being this strong to wipe out even the 3 out of the 2 strongest, 2 out of the 3 strongest pirates on Roger's crew, including Roger the captain. Well, Roger and Gabon was out of the 3, by the way. Rayleigh was just sending back, just like, I mean, like I said before, he was sending back like, so yeah, that would be my reaction to that. I mean, or his reaction to that, seeing all that. I said, damn, this isn't it, man. This is really in it, isn't it? So, I mean, what else can I say about this chapter? Aside from where this, how Garp and Rogers clash power, like I said before, they're at their peakest of prime right now. So, I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, shoot. But anyways, Shock, I gotta keep on talking about Shock because Shocky was so ungodly, like super popular that even Roger couldn't resist. Gabon couldn't resist. And then like you got Marines and her very own crew just like, oh no, I mean, she's dead sexy. Let me tell you this. She's dead sexy. Now, shoot. I would say Gloriosa at that point fell in love with Roger. That's what happened. The love is a hurricane, basically. So yeah, as Granny Neon says it. Future Granny Neon says that. So she experienced that. So I wonder if she left the island. Oh, how did she survive that? I think she said she left the island and it came back to the island. So yeah. No. Maybe I should save that for next chapter. Anyways, but if you like this video, if you're new here, subscribe, like, and share this video so we can hit that 300 subscriber goal. A comment down below. Who out of the Empress Okuja pirates do you like? Do you like Gloriosa, Empress Gloriosa, Shocky, Toritoma, or you already know the one that got hit with the love sickness, or Boa Hancock? Which popularity do you think you like the most? Say, I want to see in the comments too. So that's kind of crazy. But anyways, thanks again, and see you next chapter and video. Laters.